Hello, this is Miss Evelyn with the C&M Veterinary Technology Program, looking at sheep breeds today for the course VT 1011, our introduction to the veterinary profession for our program. And we have a few sheep breeds that we will be introducing you to that are very common here in the Southwest. So we're talking about the area of New Mexico where our college is and looking at that. So on to our journey about sheep breeds. So when we talk about sheep, we look at, are they going to be used for meat and or wool purposes? So you may have sheep that are in a herd primarily for the saving of their wool, and of course may go to a meat market later on, because most of the time in our production animals, we do get as much out of every one that we can. So when you look at sheep, consider, are they for primarily wool or are they meat and wool? So the first breed here is Suffolk. This is from England. It's Suffolk, Suffolk. And this is about 60% of the population of our sheep in the United States, especially in the productivity area. They have a black face and what we call black stockings. They are polled, and again, that word, P-O-L-L-E-D, means they do not have any horns. Now you can have naturally polled or they can actually be surgically polled. So polled without horns. They tend to be a very large breed and therefore, of course, would give a good meat market, and their wool quality. So when we come to sheep, we tend to look at, on the wool, is it a medium length? Is it a long length? What is the lanolin in it? So that whole quality of the presence in that wool. So this is what we consider a medium quality. The Suffolk. Remember to study these pictures because they may show up on your quizzes and tests. The Rambouillet. Again, a meat and wool production. Rambouillet from France. So known as also the French Merino. And you should know also that alternate name for this, the French Merino, M-E-R-I-N-O. And these are larger than what is the Spanish Merino that you may also see. The Rambouillet, even though this guy looks sort of dingy, very dingy white, they are all white, and they can have horns, or they can also be polled. So polled, again, P-O-L-L-E-D, means no horns being present. Their wool quality tends to be very soft and fine with, as they say, longer roots than on the Spanish Merino. So also for mutton and lamb, so for lamb or very young production to go to the meat market. Mutton is a little bit older, so after they've probably served their purpose in a herd, getting sheared quite often, they may go off and be produced more into mutton. Older. Rambouillet. And then indeed we do have the Spanish Merino. So once again, the Rambouillet can go by French Merino. And then we have the Spanish Merino, which is more just for wool production. And you see on the middle picture kind of very loose skin and the wool there. And this is from Spain. So the Merino itself from Spain. Notice the curled horns. They have to be shorn at least once a year because their wool does continue to grow. Underneath the dingy brownish look, they are all white. Again, they can be horned. The rams can have horns, and they also can be polled. And their wool quality is quite soft and fine. So one of the breeds that are really popular in our native areas is the Navajo Churro, C-H-U-R-R-O, Navajo Churro. Originally kind of from Spain, was thought to be brought to the Southwest through Don Juan Ornate. as they traveled in and populated the area. This breed is very, very hardy, very strong endurance, and less prone to disease. They do very well in the natural dry rangelands that the Navajos and other Native Americans would have their lands available to them. So extreme, excellent hardiness, endurance, and again, less prone to disease. They were probably the first domesticated breed in our New World. They tend to be light tan, brown, black and gray, maybe with some varying patterns. As you can see, they have quite a vast coloration, and they are horned and also polled. But notice the very long ram's horn look on those curled horns and so forth. Little to no wool on the ventral aspect of the body. So on the belly itself, not much wool. And there's really no wool on the legs. The wool itself tends to be very coarse rather than soft and fine like we've seen on the merinos, and a very lean mutton, and utilized mostly by the area of the natives. And there's our references. Once again, Oklahoma State University has really great photographic references to a lot of our large animals, and New Mexico State University Cooperative Extension. So as a quick review, the Navajo churro, meat and wool, the merino or Spanish merino, primarily only for wool, the Rambouillet for meat and wool, also called the French merino, and our Suffolk, their black face and the stockings. And again, very little wool production on those lower legs. Credits go to Ms. Donna Ray Sains Lozano for pulling the PowerPoint and the photographic journey of the sheep together. Thank you very much, and enjoy reviewing the sheep breeds.